This is Frankie Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. You see Stalin, you see Mao up there, and there's a reason behind it. And I read an interesting story that just got me thinking, and I'm like, you know, I haven't heard that perspective from people, where you take Nazism and communism and look at the two sides, and are they not the same coin? And why is it that they're the same, they have the same atrocities out there, yet one is being held up on a mantle by these extreme leftists? And when I say leftists, I don't mean people, Democrats, I don't mean liberals, I mean the extremists, just like you have these extreme people on the right. They're destroying this country in many ways, from the white supremacists, who many view as the far alt-right, or the Antifa, who many view as the far left. But if you look at this article noted how you got the anniversary, 100th anniversary of the revolutions that took over in Russia, basically ending the Tsarist rule. They ended the Tsarist rule, then the government that took over wanted to continue the World War I. They finally were knocked down. You had the Bolsheviks come in, and they negotiated, gave up a bunch of land to Germany just to get out of that war. And basically, they just controlled Moscow for the longest time, even though they were considered the people in charge of the Soviet Union back then, because it was the USSR then. But if you look at that whole ideology, the whole communist ideology, and what's the deaths that came from it, it was pretty astounding. And people never really looked at that. You get these people that are really contemptuous of the Nazism. They call, you know, I just was reading somewhere where a person said anybody that voted for Trump is a Nazi. If you have right leanings, you're a Nazi. And they villainized the Nazism, which they should. I mean, that's correct. But yet there's this love fest, it seems like, with communism. Antifa, which essentially really got going and really took off once Bernie was out there. Bernie Sanders is an avowed communist. And that's essentially what Antifa is all about. That whole ideology, the whole totalitarian scheme there. So you got, you got Hitler and the Third Reich, and they're very racist. They're very murderous. There's a lot of hatred in that Nazism. And they looked at how many people Hitler killed. He killed, what, 6 million Jews. He killed about 5 million other gypsies, gays, and all that stuff, Soviet prisoners of war. He was a bad guy. Then you look at Stalin, though, who you see on the screen. Now, Stalin and Mao, both on the screen, are communists, right? Stalin, they're saying, based on a lot of the historical record out there, that he killed about 20 million of his own people. His own people. Some historians will be out there and they'll contend that it may be twice that number. But the number that most people look at is 20 million. Then you look at Mao. Now, Mao Zedong, who he was worse than Hitler and Stalin combined, probably. This guy went out there and he bared the responsibility, and the number is not exact. They say between 40 to 77 million people were killed under him. Both these guys are communist superstars. They were mass murderers. They went out and they encouraged stuff like Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge, who went on to be really murderous. So, yeah, Hitler is evil. But is he the embodiment of evil? Or is it people like Stalin and Mao, the communists? And if so, why are these far left, these Antifa groups, out there painting this picture that the American right is racist, yet the Nazis, the Nazis and everything, yet the communists aren't? And the communists were very racist organizations. They were very anti-Semite. And I'm not making this stuff that's out there. You just got to be able to read. And a lot of people don't. You look at some of the communism that's taken a foot out there. Venezuela. Hugo Chavez is dead. You got Maduro there. But look what's happening there. People are starving. This used to be one of the most wealthiest countries in the world. And it's not anymore. And Venezuela illustrates how the 21st century socialism has devolved into these totalitarian tyranny regimes out there. Yet they're being built up. They're being held up on a mantle. And the question is why? The communists, Karl Marx, Frederick Engels, these guys were avowed racist and anti-Semites. Yet you never hear that. You only hear saying how bad the right is with this Nazism. The far right, not the right, what they're calling the alt-right, the far right. And that's true, they are. But we need to look at what this alt-left, this Antifa sorts represent under this communism. And sadly, a lot of American colleges are pushing that. That's one thing. I remember going to, my daughter was accepted in a new college here locally in Sarasota. I went in there and I saw Black Lives Matter. I saw all this different propaganda. And I said, you're not going here. How I can't send you here. These colleges, they like to emulate the communism out there. The China's Red Guard. That this was a good thing with traditional views and values. It was revolutionary. It was a good thing, but it wasn't. And until people out there realize that the far left is holding up on a mantle these atrocious individuals and the influence that they have on them, the evils of communism, there's going to be, this article essentially said there's going to be a morally confused world out there. And but the left will continue to embrace this communism. There will continue to be this moral confusion out there. But I thought it was interesting. You know, if you look over 100 years, 100 million deaths from the communists, yet this Antifa, a lot of people are holding Antifa up, and they're out there followers of communism. And most Americans should recoil in disgust. Nazism was bad. Everybody knows that. But I'm here to tell you, Stalin and Mao, if you add up the, I mean, Stalin killed way more than Hitler. Mao killed a lot, combined more than any of them. So they're not people we should hold up on a pedestal. We got to be free thinkers. Get out there on your own. Think for yourself. But these two guys, nah, we shouldn't be respecting them. Or organizations that live up to them. These far left, far right organizations are destroying America. We need to come together. This has been Frankie Abbruzzino. What say you? With the Uncensored Report.